Hello and welcome to another episode of Nolo Time. My name is Obed Velez, and with me is the one-man army, the Brooklyn Brawler, Dr. Nerdlove himself, Joel Young.
Much respect, much respect, much respect, sir, sir.
Sir, how you doing, dude? Are you alive?
I I'm alive. I'm well. I am so happy to
Is
be back
where
here
is
with you.
where is Joel? Is he safe? Is he all right?
Blink twice if you're not an AI. Oh my gosh. No, I mean, I'm telling you, Comic-Con was a blast. I'm missing it already. It's always that way, right? Every time. It's such a great time. Yeah, it was different, but so much fun. I'm glad to be here back here with you, talk all about Comic-Con, all the cool stuff we saw. So if you're a new subscriber, thank you so much for sticking with us. We got a lot of you, and we're gonna talk all about Comic-Con, so don't worry.
Yep. Thank you guys for subscribing. And thank you guys for your support. Joel's the MVP for providing you guys with that Spider-Man 2 panel. His arm paid the price, but it
Literally.
was a small price to pay for your enjoyment. So
Absolutely.
you guys, thank you guys for joining in and watching the video and engaging with us. We are truly humbled, and we hope to keep you guys around, and hope that you guys keep inviting your friends to join in.
Right.
And again, like we've said before, this is an open space. Everyone's welcome. We're not Disney haters. We're not
Yeah.
bashers. We're not fake news. Like
We call it like it is.
my sources are saying that. And no, we're not. Like we don't make up stuff for clicks. If it's not verified, even if it's cosmicbook.com, we treat it with you know with a pincer. Yeah, exactly. Take it with some rock
Yeah.
salt. And yeah, thank you guys for joining. But I mean, I guess the big update. I don't know if you want to go first. I don't really have much to say other than me and my daughter finished Dragon Ball Z. So I applaud her for actually finishing her first anime and Gateway.
Oh
So
man.
we're gonna do Super, and then after that we're probably planning to do Boku no Hero and My Hero Academia, and probably yeah, we'll see how that goes. But it was pretty good. We'll talk Secret Invasion in a bit, Joe. But I just want to hear. I just want to hear you, dude. You're the man of the hour. You're
Oh,
you're
thank you,
you're the
sir.
you're the star of the show. I want people are here to see you.
Oh
Apparently,
my God.
you're a star in many other places too, man. But go ahead, dude. The floor
Humbled,
is
humbled.
yours.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. No, this is a great conversation we'll have for sure because there's so much that happened, and so yeah, this year being a year where there is a writer's strike and an actor's strike, we knew it was going to be a different San Diego Comic Con, but at the same extent, like I had mentioned to you beforehand, I think it was going back to its roots a little bit and really getting back to the stuff that's outside of the studios that's still a part of fandom. And I'm not saying that to bash the studios. There's people out there who are like, "Oh, it's better when they're not here." I'm not of that mindset. Actually, I love me a good old Marvel Hall H show shopping moments, but it's okay. It's all right. It was different, but so this year I did not have preview night. So what I did instead is when I got into San Diego, there was only one experience that was actually open on Wednesday night, which Wednesdays usually from like 6 9 3 hours anyways that they only have. But Paramount had one of the biggest presences out there at San Diego, which is a shock because it's always been Amazon. Amazon's always paid the most amount of money. I mean, last year, they had everywhere you could imagine, Lord of the Rings and giving away items and pop-up experiences and whatever. But this year, Paramount really put their money to make sure they were front and center all around. I mean, inside the show floor, outside the show floor, in the panels, all around. So they were the first and only activation to have an event on preview night that you could go to. So it's kind of like a little party that they had called the Paramount Plus Lodge that going on. And so you could be on a standby line to try and get into the party. Essentially, I went ahead and did that, and I spent most of the time first like scouting out what's going on outside beforehand, so I could plan what activations I want to do. But then when I went into the Paramount Plus Lodge, I gotta say it was overhyped. It wasn't that great. It was pretty much just it pretty much was burgers and alcohol you can have, and then some photo op areas. And I was like, oh man, I was thinking that because they had like Transformers and this stuff they were talking
Oh, okay,
about.
okay, okay.
And it was timed. Like once you got in, like after an hour, they kicked you out. It was like you only have 15 minutes, and then you're out of here, and the next 100 people come in. But no, I was glad I got to do that on preview night because I would have never done any of the other dates because the lines was literally wrapping around all the other areas. So then the next day, Thursday, was where obviously I'll get to Spider-Man in a second because that was the big one on Thursday. But made sure that I did the Hulu animation outside experience, and I think that was probably the best experience out there at Comic-Con. I did also stop by the Dragon Ball activation outside, and Obed, I might have a little treat for you coming next time I see you in person. You may have put a little request for some swag, so
Yes.
people were waiting, dude, 3-4 hours just to get swag, and I got really fortunate on the Thursday to. That's when get a little bit ahead and jump in there early and grab it.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, I saw. I mean, from the videos, there was people out there, right? But
yeah,
it didn't look overwhelming. I showed my daughter since she's in this, Dragon Ball high, and she's like, oh, why couldn't we be there? It's like, well, I mean,
maybe.
you're getting to an age where we can probably do something next year. So we'll
Yeah,
see. Yeah.
maybe MegaCon. I don't
Maybe
know.
MegaCon, yeah. I told her, it's like, hey, maybe we can do, even if it's to the one day, right, the Saturday, and we just go and hang out and do this thing. So, but no, I saw the big Cellmax,
It's great.
big picture opportunity thing they had there, and they're going really hard on their mobile stuff, on their mobile games.
Yeah,
So I mean, I know that Legends for a while has been doing really well, but it looks like Dokkan Battle's doing really good too. So you guys gotta update the fighters, man. Do a PS5
yeah,
version with more characters and fix the netcode, and I'll jump back in. I'm good. That's all I need. You don't need to do a whole
absolutely.
new game. Just add more characters, fix the netcode, just get that DGPO there working and that rollback, and I'll jump in. You got me. So
I walked by there and it's like, this is where Obed would be. I'm like,
man,
if he
let me
was
just hang
here,
out all
this
day. Yeah,
Obed would be just out there talking about the work, getting free stuff,
right.
just hanging out with all the nerds. It's a good time.
Yep.
But yeah, so after doing the animation stuff, I had a mutual connection that was made through MegaCon. I want to shout out these people, Ashley Eckstein, the voice of Ahsoka Tano. For really, her team and herself is just really just pleasant people. I mean, Ahsoka's a hero, and they say people like don't meet your heroes. People get disappointed. No, bro, you meet her.
She's
She's like
legit.
literally the nicest person.
Yep.
I mean, just absolutely amazing, right?
We've dealt with her team outside of
Yes,
this cons and all that, so it's always
we've
been
heard
very
great
pleasant.
stories. We know.
Yeah, we know.
And so meeting, I got through MedCon, meeting her team. They told us, look, we're going to be in San Diego. I know you're going to be in San Diego. Email, and maybe we can get you into her event that she does out there, which is the Her Universe Fashion Show. It's a multi different event type of thing that they do. Again, it's kind of like an after party kind of event that they do going on. And so it's a good opportunity to meet people and really see what's going on there. So was able to meet with them, get a priority seating for the event. But so because of having doing that, I didn't have to do any kind of lines. I went straight to Hall H afterwards, Obed, and got to then get into our Spider-Man panel. I was a little concerned at first I wasn't going to get in. A lot of people for that panel. It probably was the busiest panel of all the ones that I went to. That I was surprised to
Okay.
see, aside from the Marvel Comics one, which I missed, and I'm going to go on a rant on that in a bit. But so with that one, you guys have seen the video. If you have not, please make sure you check out that video.
Both parts.
Both parts. There's part one and part two. So yeah, I had to break it up because of footage. Obviously, footage is not allowed to be shown or recorded rather when it's there. So I only recorded what I could, and I really apologize. I would love to have recorded the whole thing for everybody, but don't want to get kicked out because they will throw you out of there if they catch you. But they opened up the panel with the really good hype trailer video. They in the middle of one of the videos that they stopped and had the trailer again, and then and this is me just jumping through the parts that are not in the video. So there are parts you guys can fill it in. and watch. But then the one where you jump into part two, they had a really great. I don't know if they released it online, but a really great kind of reveal where it's like the screen's black, and all of a sudden you hear Peter be like, "Oh no, what's happening? Oh, it's what?" And then it's just obviously the symbiote coming over, and here's the PlayStation 5 with the symbiote design on it. And then lights turn back on, and here comes the Sony PlayStation team coming out with gloves on, hand delivering the console
Yeah.
and the thing, and the actual director of the game had to actually wear gloves to even hold it. And the host who was hosting did a great job. He was like, literally, I didn't know that this was going to be a thing until like 5 minutes before we started, because Marvel and Sony were like super under wraps about delivering this thing because it's not out
looks really nice.
till later on. It looks sick. It looks
I'm
amazing.
not a big fan of like the too much design on the consoles, right? Because I like the old that PS4 Pro they released, the red one with the white spider on it. That was good, right? Because it was, even though it was all red, right, it was still subdued. But I do like this one. Like out of all the plates that they've done for the PS5, this one's by far the nicest one. So.
It's gorgeous. It's great. I love just seeing it, and so that one is going to be available for pre-order around the holidays. So that's going to be big with the game coming out obviously in October. It was great at the very beginning of the panel, Obed, because Yuri does the voice of Peter Parker. If you saw the beginning of it, but he jumps up on the table, bro, and does the Tobey Maguire dance, from Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this guy knows what's up. But I do think, things taking away from it, I do think that Venom will be a playable character at some point.
I think so. Yeah. I mean,
I think it only makes sense.
Yeah.
And based on what they even were saying, reading between the lines, it seems kind of obvious. I don't know if that's going to... What would be smart, Obez, if they have even a separate DLC where it's like just a Venom story. This is like,
kind of like what they do with Miles, on the first game, have it like a Venom-sized story. I can see Venom being maybe playable for a small portion in the game, right? And then they're banking on their expansion. So
absolutely,
that would be a pretty good move if you just save that for an expansion altogether, right? Maybe give them a little taste of what it could be, and then just giving you the opportunity to not as big of an experience as the full game, right? But still, substantial expansion to the game,
right?
So, cool.
No, it looks great. I'm very, very excited to see how they move forward with it. So literally from there, I ended up doing the fashion show that night. The voice, or probably the actor, Michael James Scott, who does on Broadway for Aladdin, was co-hosting the whole event the whole time. Dude, I was hoping so bad to win. They gave away so much stuff. They gave away like 3-night stays at Disneyland, and they gave away the brand new collector series of Ahsoka lightsabers that they're going to be selling out. Lion King on Broadway tickets. It was a pretty wild time, but I really shout out to Ashley and her team again. Thanks for inviting me out there, and it was a great time. And Michael James Scott did a great time singing. Of course, never had a friend like me. Literally sang that live. So not every day you get to hear a Broadway singer perform at that level with no auto tune or anything else. It's just absolutely phenomenal. New York, it's up when you guys do a Broadway show. Anyone who's been to New York, you guys know it's next level. So shout out to them. But then a Friday. So Friday, I got to do then first thing in the morning. I went for Hall H for the Collider Directors on Directing panel. Last year I did that. Last year I kind of snuck in and was just like, hey, what is this going to really be about? And that's where the John Wick Chapter 4 announcement was made. So I figured it might be worth sneaking in for this one. You had the director of Fast 10. You had the director of the new Haunted Mansion, and then you had the director Gareth Edwards, who directed Rogue One, and now this new film, The Creator, that were on that panel. Godzilla, yep. So I'm like, I'm here for Gareth Edwards. I was like, I mean, see what this dude's gonna do. The guy's a legend. He knows what he's doing, and he was one of the younger directors at the time to do some of those films at that time when they came out. So it's great to see. all the panel was great. But really, when you got to the point where Gareth started talking about with Rogue One, it was hilarious how he said that he had made a connection with Peter Jackson through another whole project or something, right? And you'll hear this on the video, but he said that when he was doing Rogue One, like he wanted to kind of like thank Peter Jackson for the information and stuff that he taught him for making films. So he said he kept texting Peter like, "Hey, you want to come to set today? You want to come to set today?" This stuff, right? And he like would never get a response. And then it came to like the last day. He said the last day of filming was when they filmed the Vader scene, which to me sounds like reshoots, but we know we've heard the stories about what happened there with Vader.
Yeah.
But he said he literally texted Peter Jackson, "Hey, I'm filming Vader today. You want to come by?" And that's when he gets a response like, "What time I'm there?" And so he said that he was more excited to have Peter Jackson on set, but literally everyone else was like, it's Darth Vader, bro. Like that scene was absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we got to see about 5 or 10 minutes of the movie, The Creator, an action sequence. Oh my gosh, bro. I have no idea if the movie's going to be any good, but the action certainly will be. If it's any indication what we saw, the budget is not cheap. Disney totally gave him full liberty to go and make his own independent thing, which is great to see. We've criticized Disney before for keep making IP stuff, and they talked about this in the panel of like, okay, everything's always a name. Another Star Wars. I love Star Wars. Like I'm wearing another one of these. Yeah, but then like you need to have your original stuff coming out, your original stories, and The Creator is an original story that he's done and he's made. And so I hope the movie's good, and if it is, I hope it performs really well because they gave him the budget like as if it was a Star Wars movie, and it looks really good. I don't want to spoil what we saw out there, but definitely recommend it when it comes out. After that, then I got to do a couple other panels. I went to do the John Wick Chapter 3. Sorry, John Wick, the Continental TV series. So that one was pretty awesome. Packed room for that. Got to see, like, no exaggeration, 5 or so full clips from the show. It's only 3 episodes, Obed, which I think is a really smart choice. It's supposed to be an hour and a half each episode on Peacock.
So it's a mini movie on each one, yeah.
It's like a mini movie. It's very straight to the point. Can definitely confirm from all the stuff we saw, a lot of footage. They did not hold back on any of the action. They didn't hold back on any of the stuff that we know exists in the John Wick world. So I'm very pumped for the series. You know how much, but I love the John Wick movies. I'm telling you, the John Wick Chapter 4 has no business being as good as it is. Like, I mean, it is one of the best action movies I've seen in years, dude. Like, it is ridiculously good. So if you guys haven't seen it, do yourself a solid and go watch it because it's so good. But anyways, so series looked good there. Then from there, ended up jumping into, gosh, what panel did I jump in from there? Man, it was such a packed time. It was crazy. Yeah, I did. That's when I did Jim Lee. I did Jim Lee that day. Yeah, that's what I did. So, Jim Lee and Friends, which crazy, man. They put both DC and Marvel in one of the smallest rooms in Comic-Con. And I don't understand what they were thinking because people were like push come to shove trying to get into that room.
Oh, wow.
I was fortunate to get in. But I'm telling you guys, I'm glad I got the video for those who didn't get in. You can check it out. But I'm telling you, it was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous that Comic-Con would do this. There's other that, if anything, even though I know it wasn't the studios, these should have been in like Hall H. These should have been in the big rooms because you put Marvel or DC on it,
it's gonna get full,
crazy,
yeah.
bro.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's Comic-Con. It's not. These are comics. You know, like what are you doing? It's like going to E3 and putting PlayStation and Microsoft in the small rooms. Like, like it makes no sense. So, I don't know what they were thinking. I part of me, Obed, almost wondered. And this is me. They've not said anything, but I almost wonder if it was retaliation, like for them, not having the studios show up and being like, "Oh, we'll give you the small rooms because you guys last minute cancel," even though like it's out of their control, bro. There's a strike going on,
and they're separate entities, right? They're not. Like this guy, it's not this guy's fault that the studio didn't show up, right?
No, but I will
So
say specifically with DC,
okay.
which is the one I did get into, is because it's Jim Lee and he is the creative officer. He took it in phases. He's like, first we're gonna talk comics, then we're gonna talk television and movie stuff. Because he does run all the entire creative office for the entire DC studios
Yeah.
and films. Obviously, James Gunn is the president of the studio and that kind of stuff. It's a different conversation. But still, so we did talk about some stuff they're doing with HBO Max, and that was cool. Make sure you guys check out the videos for that. But what was really crazy, Obed, is a literal fire alarm went off twice in the middle of that panel,
Wow.
and everyone got up like as if we would have to start opening up all the doors. And Jim Lee is sitting there going like, "What is going on?" And he's trying
Yeah.
to calm everyone, like, "Let's just see." And then and it's on video, so you check it out. You'll see I pan around the room. It got really crazy, but thankfully everything was safe. They ended up giving us all clear. No one needs to go. I ended up finding out later on Twitter that literally, Obed, a pretzel had burned. A pretzel had burned and it set off the entire, I mean, like the entire building went
It's
like
gonna be like who
lockdown.
burned the popcorn, right?
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah.
So thankfully nothing dangerous, but
Good.
still.
Okay.
Going into then Saturday, spent a lot of time there for in the evening trying to get into some stuff, but ended up primarily just doing the Star Wars Outlaws. I sat through was it the Dragon Prince? It's a new series on Netflix that's coming in their next new season of that. And I also had to sat through Demon Slayer's first Comic-Con panel to get to the Star Wars panel. It's just that was the only way to do it because they didn't clear the room.
Got
That
it.
was my trick, Obed, to make sure
That's good.
I made it into
Yeah.
the rooms.
There you go.
So yeah, Dragon Prince got to see first full episode. I guess they dropped the big deals that they announced. They dropped the season right there and then. It was like 5 or 10 days early from where it was. So I guess it was on Netflix same day as that panel.
Got it.
Demon Slayer got to see just the main cast. And then they just
the
were talking
dub,
about
yeah.
upcoming stuff with the dub.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of any of it dubbed. I mean, because I watch it like
Yeah.
as soon as it comes out because it's so good. I can't wait.
Well, yeah.
I
That
mean,
panel was
nothing
for you,
against
bro.
the dub guys, right? Because I know that they do a fantastic job, but
Yeah.
it's just that it's so good that I just
Authentic,
I just can't wait. I mean, it's more authentic too, but I
Yeah.
just can't wait it out. It's hard. It's really
Yeah.
hard for me to wait, especially on that show, right? Like I watched all the JoJo's. I watched it in Japanese, but then I watched the dub for the last part that was on Netflix.
Okay.
I watched it's like I was like, you know what, this is gonna be the last part, at least for for the foreseeable future. Let's watch the dub, and it was fine. It was actually quite good, but yeah,
Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome, bro. Yeah. That's awesome. So it was a good time. It was a good time, but getting to Star Wars Outlaws definitely was really cool. It just so happened that I was sitting in the press section, so I have all the our fellow media friends all around us for that panel.
our boys from IGN.
Everybody was in
Just-
that room, bro. It was ironic. I was like, oh, this is where no load time's supposed to be.
Yeah, there you go. Come on.
Right along 'em. Let's go.
Next
let's
time,
go.
next time they invite us, right?
Oh, they will.
There you go,
They
there
will
you
invite
go.
us. Mark my words. And that's thanks to you guys, the people.
Yeah,
That
you're the
thanks to you,
people.
the people. Because of you guys is why we're able to go to these
That's
places
good.
for
That's
real.
good, man.
So it was a great panel. Big news being how you can work for Jabba or you can work against Jabba in this open world environment. If you work, obviously, if you turn against Jabba, then you start to have like a higher awareness of yourself, like being wanted in different areas. Which remind me a lot of like Assassin's Creed, like, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, like you get too much attention, like, now all of a sudden your red meter starts coming up, people are looking for you, right? So that's pretty cool. You have a new planet that you can go to. You can customize your speeder bike, which is going to be pretty awesome. And just all around, this just a really what they were saying at least was the right words. Like they were like, we're not going to just put out this game and then it's like unfinished and it doesn't have like we really have it very polished, well done. I think Ubisoft. I think they know what they're doing. I think they are prepared for this, And my hope is that it lives up to the hype because the panel all around was great. So it made me excited for playing this hopefully in 2024. Oh, but I don't know if you'll be looking forward to it or not, but
It
it's a new
looks
Star
good.
Wars game. So it gets
Yeah,
my attention.
yeah. It looks good. It looks good. I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless reviews are terrible, then I'd
That'll
wait.
be the only thing, right? Yeah. Yeah,
But I
because
feel good about.
even with Jedi Survivor, it's like I powered through the glitches and the corrupt save files and all that, and at the end of the day, it was an enjoyable experience, and I wouldn't mind going back to it. Right? We'll talk more about other things when after the recap, but um, I I don't know why I don't feel the same way about the games as I feel about the rest of the content. Like I
Right.
think the games have been doing even and rightfully so, right? The Battlefront games were criticized and adjustments were made. Dude, it's like I was,
Yeah.
you know how much I love Battlefront 2.
Oh, for
Battlefront
sure.
2 is one. I love that game, and
Yeah.
it seems like when it comes to games, right, they're on the right track. It's just
Yeah.
the rest of the content that's not. So it's like I mean, apparently she's gone for realsies this time. I don't really know if her email
Sources.
still if her email's still turned on or not.
These
I
people,
don't
man. I
know.
can't I can't with these people, bro. They need help. They need serious
They're
help.
obsessed.
Get a
Well, the
get a
problem is like
doctor.
we've been talking about it, right? It's like if it's gonna now more
It's
than
going
ever
to
it's gonna
happen.
happen. It's
But
just
don't
that
make up fake news to make it happen.
I already said, dude, it's not gonna happen before the fiscal year. Like it's gonna be either
Hey, the prophet open knows.
it's gonna it's gonna be either a fiscal year, and then again
Right.
they selling next year, bro.
Right.
It's gonna happen. So
Yeah,
yeah,
there's very strong possibilities. You may be very onto this, but yeah. So that Star Wars panel was a lot of fun. I spent Sunday, the last day, just here to last wrap this up, was really just on the show floor and outside experiences as much as I could. And I must say that it was so much fun just wrapping it up, and that day ends early at 5, everything. So did get an opportunity with some fellow uh, friends that were with me that also are in the content creation community, support our show, that were out there. Got to do an interview with Bandai Namco.
oh sweet,
And so Justin, shout out to Justin on the PR side of their team,
nice.
was able to grant brought us all the way up to the top second level of their booth, have a private little overlook, and got some video out there. So that video is not on the channel right now yet. I got to edit it, and I'm very sorry, guys. I have been swamped and busy between this
So
life, what's going on.
So Joel texts me was yesterday, right? It's like, hey yo, I'm back in town, and I was like, bro, you're alive? I was like, what's going on? And then in the midst of it, a ton
Yeah.
of personal stuff happened,
Yes.
and it's Joe. Again, the Brooklyn Brawler, man. You taking it like a champ. I gotta give it to you,
Trying.
bro.
I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. The moment we hit end on this, I'm gonna be snoring in the background, sleeping
Yeah,
so well.
yeah. Oh
But
no, well, Joel's
no,
not gonna snore because this weekend he's going to Tampa Bay Comic Con.
starting
Starting
tomorrow, bro. I
tomorrow.
am in South Florida doing our convention coverage. So it
Yeah,
is not done. You guys like Comic Cons? You like content? I promise you, Tampa's gonna be a blast. Tampa's the one place that the actors haven't canceled.
yeah.
Actors will be there, and they put out a comment saying that they have spoke to SAG and that they are in accordance because they're not coming on behalf of studios; they're coming as individual talent. So we have plenty of interesting opportunities. My hope is that
It's gonna be
that
flashing that
on
press badge down
the
there,
press
dude.
badge. I'm hoping that when I'm on press row,
so
that I
good.
get favorable interviews with some of the media out there. If you guys have any questions you want me to ask them,
There you go.
send an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. Any of the talent that's listed on Tampa Bay Comic Con, Tampa Bay Comic Book Convention on their website.
And your question may
Also,
get stolen by another outlet. Oh no.
Oh, trust me, we have receipts.
Yep.
Or even send it to us on like Threads or on Facebook or something, and or comment even on the bottom of this video,
Yep.
and I'll try and ask it while I'm out there if you guys want. But I so look forward to covering that convention. Obed, I will try to get as much rest as I can, and my hope is next week I'll have that Bandai Namco video edited so that could be up on the channel. Please be patient with
Nice.
me. I'll try the best I can, guys.
That's awesome, man. Those guys are legit. So
Yeah.
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 That's awesome, dude. Dude,
That's Comic Con.
I am so I'm so happy, and I texted you. It's like, dude, I'm so happy for you because you are having the freaking time of your life over there. While I was stuck in the office, man, in the fort, and working on deadlines and all this. Right? I was having a great time with deadlines, Joe. A great
Oh,
time.
oh,
Yeah.
you're a very efficient man.
Oh,
No one ever doubt Obed's
oh
efficiency.
man.
Obed cuts the videos on this channel. He cuts this podcast up. He's
Post
a
the
pro.
podcast version, self taught Audacity engineer or whatever.
That's you Obed is amazing, guys. Obed is
Yeah.
an MVP.
I'm more the VPN. So, yeah. Do you wanna? So, before I forget, right? Because I want to talk Secret Invasion.
Yeah, Marvel.
Final Fantasy 16, Joe. I started playing it.
Okay.
Because I've been playing Zelda here and there. I'm not done with Zelda, right? I played it today
Yeah.
for like 2 hours. Yeah, I was like, I realized that I had a bunch of time off available from work. It's like, I got to do this before summer ends, right?
Yeah, we know.
Taking advantage of that, right? So I played some Zelda today, but bro, Final Fantasy 16 is real good. It's real good, dude. It's okay. So there's only one thing that kind of like frustrated me a little bit, and it's that the first 2 hours of the game, right? It's very Metal Geary, where you really don't do much, but after that, it takes off. And take Final Fantasy, sprinkle some Game of Thrones in it, and you mix it with Devil May Cry and God of War, and you get this
Right.
game.
Okay.
Yep. It's real good. I am very, very much liking this game. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. I'm having a great time. It's really good. Zelda, like I said, and you know what? And I thought about this, like I was thinking about this the other day. It's like, oh, you know what? I should do like just a review of my 10 top favorite games of all time, because that list has changed since we last spoke, right?
For sure. It's a long time.
Yeah, it's been. I was still in the closet back then. It was like
Literally.
there's no visual representation of what Lord of Time was. I think the audio version, like the audio only, is on YouTube, because it's like just the old logo with just us just trying to salvage that episode because your internet went out. I still remember.
Yeah. Literally.
So, I kind of want to revisit it, right? So I'm thinking about creating something new with that. So we'll see what happens. But Tears of the Kingdom, that game it's still like, how is this game even possible? And then I'm playing Final Fantasy, and I was like, how do I get up there? I need to get up there. How do I get up there? And it's like, I can't climb. I can't use ascend. I can't do anything, right? I have to find the path, old school style. And that's what I like about it. It's a throwback to a more linear kind of like linear RPG, like Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy 13. Although 13, there was not much of an interaction with NPCs. The story was there, but there really wasn't much of a connection. The game, I enjoyed the game, right? But it feels like what an evolution of Final Fantasy X would be now when it comes to like level design. But then you go in and then you do the real time like Devil May Cry type battle system. some of the cinematic qualities of God of War, and the story of betrayal and family betrayal and all this like Game of Thrones type of thing. I'm really enjoying it. I'm having a great time. I'm playing it tomorrow, and I'm really excited to actually just jump back in and play. It's real good, real good.
Awesome.
Very positive thing. This game, this year, dude. What the heck, bro? It's like we still got Spider Man, right? I don't know if
Yeah.
Tekken's coming out. I don't know. Maybe you got the scoop from the Bandai guys. The Bandai Namco guys.
Oh, I know.
Is Tekken coming out this year?
I should have
Right?
asked. I did. I
Oh
didn't.
man. So
Drop the ball there.
it, it you know it's an incredible year overall, right? It's um next year I don't know what's there doesn't seem to be much happening next year as far as we know, right? Outlaws and the Elden Ring DLC, they did say that
Hmm.
it's probably going to come out next year, but even if next year's quiet, I'm good because I can still go back to Survivor. I can go back to Horizon, which didn't,
Yeah.
I finished the story, but I still had a lot of, stuff laying around. Street Fighter, like I played Street Fighter on the surface, and it's like, why am I not playing this game,
Dude,
dude?
Spider-Man 2, we don't
I
know.
know. It's like that game is gonna be incredible, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm here with a shortage of time to
Yeah.
enjoy all this quality products. But yeah, Final Fantasy, real good. Do you want to talk Secret Invasion?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Um, I've seen some Devices stuff out there. Like I think
Yeah.
IGN gave it a 6 or something, right? As a
Sure.
whole, um, I enjoyed it.
Hmm.
I did. We're monetized now. We can't. I gotta watch my language.
Yes, sir. Family
So
friendly.
I think um I think the ending fell flat. That's a good, yeah, that's a good word
We
for
know.
it. Okay. I like I said, I enjoyed it overall. Right. What's it setting up? I don't know. The return of Nick Fury, apparently, but is it? What's happening to Kira?
Hmm.
Not to Gaia, not Kira. I'm
Gaia.
Solo. Yeah,
Star
see,
Wars.
Solo. Yeah, yeah, man. It's like
Yeah.
I always think about it because I never watched Game of Thrones. Like it's not my cup of tea, but I know that she's in Game of Thrones and she was Kira and Star Wars. So what's going on with Gaia? And it's like, is she as strong as Captain Marvel? Or what the heck? You know. And then I don't know. It just that ending felt really really flat. Like they run out of ideas, and it's like, yo, let's just end it here, and then we'll pick up at the Marvels if it comes out this year, right? Because based on rumors.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
uh, that's I guess that's like my overarching review of it, right? It had really good moments. Like I said, they did Mario Hill dirty, in my
Hmm.
opinion. That
Yep.
first episode was really boring up until like the end. It got progressively better.
Yeah.
I think that last episode was good, but it was kind of flat. Like I was like, but I mean, what are you trying to set up, right? It was strange. Um, the lowest viewership of I guess any Marvel show on Disney Plus, and it truly is concerning. It goes back to what Bob was saying a few weeks ago about saturation and them putting all this stuff out there in Disney Plus, and then just kind of not having the same mystique that the games the properties had when they were in the movie theaters. So what's gonna happen? Again, we already did predictions for Disney last episode, so we want to go back 2 weeks and see those. That's great, but um, yeah, man, they gotta get their ducks in a row. I mean, we like I already made my predictions, like I said, but how do you fix this? I guess is the right question, right? Especially with Marvel, we've already talked about Star Wars ad nauseum, and we could probably touch Star Wars here and there, but Marvel boy, tell us, how do they fix it?
Blow the brakes. Stop. Just stop.
It's
Everyone
time to
keeps
stop.
just stop. Just stop. Seriously, you got to stop because clearly the demand has slowed down. It's economics, supply and demand. When demand's high, you bring in a large supply. Demand is down, and you're trying to back up the truck with all this stuff, and it's like quantity over quality is what we're getting out of it. So I don't want to act like Secret Invasion was an absolute disaster, but it was mediocre. I mean, that's what I would call it. Like
Yeah.
people act like it's a disaster. I'm like, did you see She-Hulk?
No,
You want to talk
bro.
about worst show?
Oh,
How does this have worse ratings than She-Hulk?
I know.
Who are you
I
people?
know.
Like, did
Oh
you
my.
watch the same thing as me? Because I'm sorry, that
She-Hulk
show does
was
not have better ratings.
that was offensively bad, dude.
It was bad. It
The
was
heck?
insulting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a slap to the face.
Yeah.
That was some Will Smith right there. I'm telling you, it was bad. But with Secret Invasion, like they never got me super hyped about it. So when it came to the end, like you said, like it kind of fell flat. But my expectations were never expecting it to do anything like groundbreaking, anyways. Even though like this is the Secret Invasion, like we're talking about the Skrulls invading the Earth and all this, it should have been absolutely mind-boggling crazy. But what they did do with it, I actually did find to be entertaining personally. I just
Yeah.
think that like what happened with the ending kind of felt like Moon Knight, where it's like it just kind of just ended, like it just super like just jumped, like all of a sudden people
Uh,
have powers, and it was like, oh, okay, cool,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
there's
yeah,
fighting or
yeah.
something, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's like you don't want to drag so much, but you also don't want to just speed up. And there's a lot of people who have been making the argument that this actually deserved more, and I agree. I think like She-Hulk should have been 6, should have been nothing, but then this should have been like a 9 episode
Should have
thing.
been shelved.
It was gelled, yeah. Um, so, but yeah, like what they did here. I mean, like if your biggest reveal is in spoilers, folks, is Rhodey, basically not being Rhodey since Civil War because of the garment he's wearing,
Yeah.
and
I
then
mean, that
the
would be
fact
the
that God
assumption, right? What the heck?
he's
And
wearing
the
his hospital
resolution to
outfit.
him is like, oh, yeah, we've been here for a long time. We'll take you to the car. What a
Why?
missed opportunity, bro. To like get some emotional like reactions for what's like, what the heck happened? And like,
You
bro, you're not
you
gonna
have a
believe it.
movie. You have a movie coming called Armored Wars. A movie.
No
This is
setup.
clearly a set. This will be a setup. What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I thought the Gaia thing, like that felt very Moon Knight again, like it was just kind of this rushed thing. Eh, it's cool that her like the scene looked actually looked pretty good for television. Um,
It
but
was
at the same extent, it
yeah.
kind of took me out of it a
It
little bit.
wasn't. I mean, it was kind of
Yeah,
silly. It was kind of
it
silly.
was.
Like
It
it
was. It's
didn't it
like
didn't. So okay, and again,
go
right?
for it.
Equality for everyone's on the same page.
It's
We're
not
on the
about
same page, right?
yeah.
Like when you do the muscle effects on that model of the bad guy, I even forgot his name, dude. Granite
Gravik,
Gravik, yeah.
Gravik, yeah.
So when you do like trying to do the Hulk thing on him, and the muscles because of the model they were using the character model, it looked fine. But then when you had Amelia Clark, who's like 5 feet tall, 90 pounds, and like it goes like this with the little
The
arm,
Drax
it
arm,
looks so stupid, dude. And I was
yeah.
laughing. I was like, yo, no. Huh.
Yeah, it could have looked
It's
better had they animated better.
yeah, 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 yeah. And I think it's just that they should have just um replaced her with a character model like they did with Gravik, and then and that would have looked, even though it was CG, it would have looked more natural, right? But some of it was super iffy, dude. I was like, what the heck is this?
And that's not just because it's her, in all fairness. Like,
No,
had you
no,
done the
no.
same thing with like Robert Downey Jr., like imagine seeing that
Yeah,
and then seeing him with like this like Drax arm. Like what like what is going on here? This looks silly. I don't know, just like that mix between reality and CGI just didn't blend. But like
totally.
all in all, I would hope that they do use the character more because I actually do want to see her character more. It's just like you have to nerf it now or somehow because
Yeah, and I
she's the
mean,
most powerful character in all of MCU.
are they at the same level? Right? It's like it's crazy. Like, oh, and correct me if I'm wrong, Joel, but there was some um uh, that facing power that she was using, was that it couldn't be Vision, right? Because she was using like a Sue Storm kind of like
Well, she
invisibility.
jumped. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can say that the Rock was the dude from
The Cronin.
yeah, for well from
Korg.
Thor Korg, yeah.
Yep. He's a Cronin. Yep.
So you know that it wasn't the thing, but that facing that, oh, maybe no, she wasn't in Ghost from Ant-Man and Wasp.
No, because
Is it
I've been
Ghost? Yeah,
technology.
and she wasn't there. It was tech, right? It wasn't a power.
Right.
Yeah,
Hmm. It's a good question.
that
So
was an
there was some
interesting.
cool. There
Yeah,
were some cool powers
there
that they
were.
ran,
Yeah, yeah,
like the Coal Obsidian, like that you get. Like I was like, oh, the Black Order, like you even took blood
yeah,
from, and all. Like that's kind of cool.
yeah.
But yeah,
It
yeah,
just looked like all together, all the mashed up. What was pretty silly, right? And
yeah.
um, it you know again for TV it wasn't bad. It was like
No, right, for
it
television,
looked
it's
fine,
okay.
yeah. But I don't know. I don't know where this is going now. I guess we can start like jumping into some of the topics that we have here for
Go for
however
it.
long we have left. It's like, um, and I guess we can address the rumor of the Marvels possibly getting moved to next year.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
due to I don't know what, right? We can talk about that trailer. I still think that it looks fine. It looks fun. It looks like. Am I gonna go see it? Probably not. I'll
yeah.
see it on Disney Plus.
Right.
But it looks fun. Like it. I've seen for all the criticism that a lot of people have on Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel and the whole MCU thing. It looks fine to me. I don't see anything wrong with it. You know, is it gonna get delayed for maybe reshoots? They're gonna change the ending. They're gonna refocus. What are they doing? I mean, they can't reshoot. So what are we doing, right? Why are we delaying this? Maybe because they want to have a proper premiere. Maybe it'll get delayed if the strike doesn't get resolved before then. So that could be a possibility. So yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the article, Obed, about the delays potentially coming in from I want to say Warner with Dune and Aquaman. Did you see that as well? So
I remember hearing something about Aquaman, but I didn't hear about Dune.
it's from legitimate sources. Could definitely
Mm,
fact check it. It's either like Hollywood Reporter, Variety. Like it was a pretty big thing. Basically, they are contemplating delaying both Dune and Aquaman.
yeah,
And I think and they did make it clear because of the strike, the actors can't promote the movies. And then on top of that, like a lack of content going into next year because a lot of things are being shifted off. So they kind of move around staples, spread it out, which I actually think spreading out would make it make more money than all these things piled up together. I mean, you're seeing happen in Mission Impossible with, had it come out at any other time, it would have made even more money. But you have Oppenheimer and Barbie coming out. Of course, it's going to have a huge drop the second week. But I think the same thing could be said here. So if there's a strike going on, it makes sense to spread it out. But you bring up a great point with the Marvels, where there's a very strong possibility that this could be because of reshoots. We've heard for a while now that they've not been too happy with the ending of the movie. And whether that's true or not, I don't know. But when you start hearing stuff about potential delays, it does start to feed the thought of, well, either you're afraid to promote the movie without your actors, or you need your actors to do something else that you can't have them do because of the strikes going on.
yeah.
I don't think it's because there's a lack of Disney content and they have to have it spread out to next year. It could be that they're trying to spread out to make more money next year, but I don't know, but that doesn't sound right to me because didn't Captain America wrap filming? Am I right to say that it wrapped filming before this whole thing?
Um,
Obviously, it might need reshoots itself, but I
yeah,
think it
I
wrapped.
think it did. Yeah, yeah,
So we'll see. We'll see.
yeah. I don't know. Um, again, the movie looks fine. The trailer looked good. I think it's charming and pretty funny, and
Yeah, it looks fine.
nothing crazy against it. Nothing. It's fine, right? So, like other than what we talked about on Comic Con, this was the biggest I guess news to come out that was not part of Comic Con itself.
Right.
It was the trailer, but I don't know, man. It looks fine to me, and like nothing offensive, nothing against uh the movie, but it's concerning when you have reshoots this late because the movie's supposed to come out in November, right? October.
November.
Yeah. So when you have this thing coming out in 4 months and no, 3 months pretty much, right? If freaking July's gone already. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very interesting. So we'll see. But yeah, Joe, it's like call me a hater, right? Or non-believer, but how well Barbie did, bro, and with reviews too. Like
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I said I'd like that. Second trailer for me was atrociously bad, dude.
Yeah.
And again, it probably was just me, but doing really well, reviewed really well. You posted your review. I don't know if you wanted to say anything real quick and send everyone to watch the review. But yeah, man.
I'll definitely recommend people go and watch the review where break it down. But you were onto something because it the hype around it's overhyped. Like when you actually see the movie, dude, or if you even see the movie, like which I totally understand, like it's not. I have to be clear, like it's not marketed towards people like you and I.
Yeah,
But so I understand it's a different audience. And the movie, just because I'm saying that doesn't mean that the movie's bad, by any means. I'm not saying that necessarily, but the movie had so much hype. You'd have thought this was like the movie event of the year. And honestly, I can tell you, it's okay. Like it's the cringe is intentional because it is funny, and that's something I told you. Like it needed to be funny, it needed to be funny, it needed to be itself. But sometimes it's almost like too silly, to be honest with you. Like
yeah.
sometimes it's a little bit overly. And then you and I have a conversation where we've talked before about stuff that's like we go to the cinema to escape the real world,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
We
yeah.
don't
Mm-hmm.
we understand that there's a time and place for everything, and I'm not
Escapism.
against true stories and stuff like that. But you and I have said this a lot. This is one of those movies that like you think you're escaping the real world, and then it's like preaching real world messages the whole time. Which the messages I understand. I agree with what they were trying to say, but in some ways, I almost felt like they were trying to treat the audience like we were dumb because they repeat the same, like they
Mm,
make the point and then they make the point again and then they make the point again. You're like, okay, we
interesting.
get it, and
Okay.
then they keep going. So some of the jokes kind of to me kind of went a little too far, but all in all, I still thought it was pretty decent. Like I think something would like, but because of how it drags on like that, the movie feels longer than what it should be. Like it's like just under 2 hours, and it felt pretty long to me.
Okay.
And some of the jokes hit, some of them don't. But check out the review. I break down spoilers and stuff like that for those of you to check it out. But I mean, this to me, the fact that it's making this much money is definitely word of mouth, great marketing, and also look, economics prove women run the box office, and as many people don't realize this, like if when you're looking at some of these movies, you're like, oh, it's an action movie, it's geared at men. A lot of times women are the ones that are actually running to watch these superhero movies and these other things.
Yeah.
So if it hit them up and they want to see this, that's why we're seeing these results.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about with Marvel and Star Wars, right?
Right.
Is that you gotta be able to cater to your old school fans and bring in this new fan base, right? You
Right.
and you just can't like all of a sudden like completely disregard or destroy what was done before to get you here just to
Right.
embrace this new fan base. You
Right.
can have synergy between old school fans and new fans. And I think that's something that Barbie may be doing well, right? Is
Yeah.
bridging those two, I guess, audiences and just making big bucks with it. So, you know, yeah, it's that's good. Good for them, right? It's like
Yeah.
it's been a rough year for everyone except Comcast. So, it's good. That's good that they're good doing good. So,
I hope to have Oppenheimer review out for that next week. I'm trying not to run myself into the ground while stuff we're doing,
Take it easy, dude.
but if I
Don't
can,
worry
man,
about
I
it. Don't
might
worry
try.
about it. You watch it when you watch it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Don't
sir.
strain yourself. And I need you in
I,
Tampa tomorrow.
I gotta put that review. I gotta put the review out for it, but I'll get it. I'll get it. I got you guys.
No,
I
no,
got you guys.
you're good, man. Take it easy. Yeah, and I guess big news that dropped this morning is that the PS5 officially reached the 40 million sold milestone. Um, in 3 years or 3.5 years, I guess.
Yeah.
Outpacing, pretty much everything. So, doing pretty incredible. The other than the Switch, right? So yeah, I mean, this is great news for Sony. They still own that huge part of the market. The deal with Microsoft's done. The Activision stuff. So they're still keeping Call of Duty on PlayStation. And I'm just curious to see where do we go from here. What does PlayStation do to? I don't want to counteract because they don't need to necessarily, right? But they must have a plan that they're willing to implement. So I don't see Microsoft doing any more acquisitions at this time. I think their market hold is substantial, and the investments that they've made are substantial. I don't think they are spending any more money buying game studios, right? When you have AI and other things to worry about that I think are more pressing than owning the Sony ponies. So, like fixing Outlook for so yeah, where do we go from here? What does PlayStation do? We don't know. We'll see. There may be another show. Joel, did you see the supposed leaked video for the Project Q that's out there?
No.
No. Okay. So allegedly, right? There was a thing out there from I can't remember. It was a tech magazine saying that Sony went back to the drawing board with some of the stuff for Project Q, and allegedly Qualcomm's gonna be providing the chips for the device, and there's a supposed leaked video out there, and that's basically an Android tablet. So it's basically like an Android tablet with the PlayStation Dual Sense controllers next to
Oh.
it, right? So they're attached. You can't remove the controller, so it's not like a Switch, right? But it is a standalone Android device.
So it will have its own applications of some kind, its own Android thing,
So you
separate from
can
just streaming.
hack the heck out of it, dude, and play everything.
I am not endorsing any
I'm not
activities that are
saying
not legal.
I cannot
We're
either
just-
confirm nor deny that you or should not hack your device or emulate games if you do not own an original copy or a digital version of it. But the internet's a thing, so.
The internet's a thing.
But yeah, I saw it. It was very interesting. It was straight up Android. I was like, what? This is
Wow.
interesting. Which,
That's great.
yeah. I mean, you can emulate pretty much anything on Android. It's like that means that Sony could come up with an emulator for a Vita or PSP, and you can have
Right.
Vita and PSP games on it again.
Wow.
I mean, that could be a possibility. So
Wow.
I'm cautiously optimistic after the leak, right? Because if they're not doing anything proprietary, right? If they're not doing their proprietary OS or whatnot, and they're going with like a straight up like Android thing, I think that's great news. We'll have to wait and see. There's not enough details. Apparently, this thing's coming at the end of the year for like 300, 250 or whatever. We'll see. If it's gonna be my thing, I'm gonna wait for the next Switch, which, according to a supplier of parts, comes out early 2024.
Wow, Ben.
I ate my
2024.
shrimp. I can
You ate your
I can
shrimp.
do I can use whatever date I want on it. early 2024.
Oh
We'll
my
see.
gosh.
But that's my prediction. That was my prediction before I read this today. I still stand by it. Early 2024 for the successor of the Switch.
Oh my gosh.
So, it's pretty much what we got, sir. I will let you go to sleep.
I just want to see you at like Christmas holding up a Project Q device. Like it happened. We'll
Hey,
see.
you know what, Sony? Hey, but we have visibility. I can
Yep.
make a review. I can review this thing for
Yep.
you. Honest review.
Ubisoft, you want to send us a test for us to review of Star Wars Outlaws? We'll do
Yeah,
it.
we'll take it.
Insomniac, you want to send us a test copy of Spider-Man? We'll do it.
Yeah, we gotta. Yeah, exactly. It's like get Palpy there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, that's what we got. Go ahead and go take a nap. Well deserved rest.
I'm done. I'm done. My bags are packed. I'm going to sleep. Everybody, thank you so much for sticking with us and joining us and subscribing. For those of you who are new, please make sure you subscribe to the No Load Time podcast on podcast platforms of your choice: Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple. Find us there, subscribe on those places. That really helps us out. You can also write a review on those platforms. That helps us out. Again, we're not asking you to necessarily send us money. We're just saying, look, hit that subscribe, helps us out. Those of you that are subscribed or are not subscribed, rather, on the No Load Time YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe on there, like the videos, drop a comment. All of that stuff really helps us out. Just hitting that one, just hitting like button just one time. That really helps us out majorly. So thank you for those who can do that. Make sure you're following us on social media at No Load Time, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. You can find us at No Load Time. We're out there posting content, especially with Tampa Bay Comic Convention starting tomorrow. I will be in South Florida posting all the content for that. So make sure you stick around there. And then also you can follow us on Twitch, No Load Time. That's No Load Time altogether on Twitch, broadcasting our live episodes here and sometimes a little gameplay. Maybe before the summer's done, we'll see. So make sure you follow us, No Load Time on Twitch. Also, you can, last but not least, send in a comment, question, feedback. We'd love to hear from you. Of course, you can always put in the comment section or write us on social media, but you can also email us, noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. And maybe we'll even talk about what you send in on a future episode.
Do it.
So we look forward to hearing from you guys, staying connected with you guys. We appreciate you all, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, guys. Stay safe. We'll see you again next time.